Hello, beautiful souls. I just wanted to respond to this right here, this how. In my last video that I made about needing to go within to rid yourself of the shame and the guilt. And this lovely lady, Carrie, I wanted to respond to, she asked how. For me on my healing journey, the steps that I had to take, one major one that I did is that I put down alcohol. So I've been all this year without any alcohol. And in doing that, what I started noticing is there was transfer addiction. This is my healing journey, okay? And in when I quit drinking, I started noticing that I was like throwing myself into like pleasing everybody else at my own expense, just doing whatever everybody else needed. Worried about what everybody thought about me, what everybody like thought about anything that I was creating or putting out in the world, that anybody that was around me knew that I got you, that I support you, that, you know what, you're hurting. I'm going to do everything I can to help you feel better. And I learned very quickly how draining that was and how those types of things, even taking on jobs, because I just always kept saying yes to everything, how I was actually draining myself and emptying my cup and just completely unfulfilled. And one of the biggest things that I had to do, because I got to a point where I thought there was no return. If you watch back on some of my videos, there was a night that I recorded myself bawling because I thought that I might end my life. And it was that moment that I chose life over death. And in choosing life, I had to be real honest with myself on what I was doing to contribute to my pain and what I was allowing other people to do to contribute to my pain. So I had to start working there. And I knew that I was having a difficult time being able to process it all myself. So therapy was my next option. And then from there, when I got into therapy, I brought up everything that was going on as I could and had some kind of direction. So therapy helps a lot, because a lot of the times when we're carrying guilt and shame, it's because we feel that nobody will understand, or that nobody can relate, or that we will be judged. So what therapy did for me was give me that safe space. Now, of course, find a therapist that works for you. Me personally, I'm now becoming a therapist myself, so that way I can in turn be able to help others as I have found help for myself. But the craziest thing though is, as you heal yourself, you learn very quickly that you cannot heal others. That is again seeking outside of yourself, which then just reignites back to the shame and guilt cycle. And then from that moment with therapy, I had to allow myself a set amount of time. I gave myself 2 strict months where I was going to cut off all connection to everybody that I felt a little bit iffy about, insecure, because I needed to get back to my own center, right? So then I had to find a safe space. That safe space became my husband and my 2 children in my home. Meaning that if I need to break down, if I need to be vulnerable or anything, those are my people. And then to the rest of the world that I had to be in front of, I would just go in, do what I had to do, and then leave. For me on my journey, I noticed that I would literally regurgitate out anything that was happening in my mind to anybody that was around me in hopes of connecting with people, thinking I was being helpful, letting them know that there's nothing to be ashamed of. All of these things are all outward seeking. But in my trauma, I learned these were all trauma responses of wanting to be accepted. And at the end of the day, the only acceptance that you need is from yourself. So these are just a few things that I have used. Now, also, too, there's also other tools. So you also, while you're doing this and you're facing these things for yourself and you're allowing yourself to cry, you're allowing yourself to get mad, you're allowing yourself to feel all of the feels, you are now creating space. And as you are creating space, you can now fill that space with new tools. For me, new tools look like any kind of creative outlet, physical activity, whether that be kayaking, walking, biking, working out, yoga. And then the biggest thing of all, was letting go of the past and stop focusing on the future. And most of all, stop comparing my journey to anybody else's. Your journey is your journey. Everybody's spiritual, religious, I'll stick with spiritual journey, is individual to the person. You are never behind. You are right on time. If you want to stop the cycles from happening, then you have to take the stand. Just as quickly as those negative happen, just as long as those negative habits took to form and take shape into your life and then start to control your life, you have to allow yourself that same amount of time and space to fill it with more positive ones. And I'm saying this from a real life person who never went to rehab and has now stepped into a place of inner fulfillment, transparency, joy and love, and grateful in knowing that for every day that I am here on this earth, my soul still has purpose here. So every day that you wake up, your soul still has purpose here. But every day that you hold on to something that someone did to you or that you did that you weren't proud of, you are stripping yourself from a moment of joy and peace that you could be having. You have this vessel for your whole life. Take the time out to heal her. Love her enough to want to do so. And if you need any guidance, support, or have any questions, please comment down below, follow. If you would have any questions and you'd like me to do another video, I would love to share more. Stay safe, beautiful souls. I love you.